Hormone belly and bloating. These are two complaints that I get all the time in practice, and it really makes women feel down, not able to fit into their clothes, and it leaves us all really frustrated. Let's talk a little bit about bloating, and this time, what you can do to help beat bloating. Now, I talk a lot about hormone belly in this video. Check it out if you want to know more about the different hormone patterns associated with hormone belly. Now I want to spend some time talking about what you can do and maybe some day-to-day habits that are making both hormone belly and bloating worse. Now, first of all, and I've been guilty of this, just over consuming salt. I don't know if you guys pay attention to the amount of salt you're getting in, but sometimes even our healthiest foods, right? A lot of our gluten-free foods or snacky foods, outside food has a ton of salt, way more than we need. And that overconsumption of salt, as the hormones shift, we become incredibly sensitive to. And what I'm seeing in my patients as I continue to work with them is that when hormones are shifting, our need for hydration gets even higher. We need more water to balance the fluctuations in our minerals, and we need a lot of mineral support as well, along with electrolytes. So if you're having a lot of bloating, a simple place to begin is simply drink water and maybe even add some electrolytes to that water as well. Now, the other reason that we'll bloat and often have issues with bloating is that we're not getting enough fiber, we're not eating consistently, we're not sleeping, and we're not moving. Again, so much, I'm in this with all of you. And these are observations I'll even notice in myself. Like when I'm in a clinic day and I'm sitting a lot or not moving or not super active, I feel more bloated, just puffy overall. And I think a lot of that is just the sedentary nature of a lot of what we all do nowadays, right? We're in front of the computer. Really what we need to be doing is getting up and moving every hour or two for at least 10 to 15 minutes. That really helps our lymphatics, which is a part of hydration and how we move fluids and bloating, and we don't talk about that enough. So, whatever you're doing, maybe take a look at your day, and I'm trying to do this too, so I'm right there with all of you, but really put in those 10-minute breaks 3 times a day so that you walk around the building, go up and down the stairs, get up and stretch a little bit, do a few yoga stretches, even walk with some hand weights. Any of that is going to help you a little bit in terms of moving fluid and decreasing this puffiness or bloating that we all talk about. Now, in addition to the movement throughout the day, when we're having hormone shifts, we also need some dedicated exercise, right? Where we are growing muscle and actually strengthening the muscle. And here's the difference. Many people tell me that they run, or like me, you love yoga or Pilates, and all of those are great. They either have a cardiovascular component to what they're doing, or they're helping with overall stretching and flexibility and improving muscle to a point because you're using your own body, right, to really manage how you're burning calories and things like that, especially in yoga. But here's the problem, and I hate to admit it. When we are doing yoga and Pilates, we are not growing a muscle. We are moving and we are burning calories and we're opening up our spine and doing those type of things, but we are not actually growing muscle. Muscle growth needs some weight training, and that weight training is usually more of a heavy load, fewer reps, but a heavier load. And that in turn grows the muscle. Now, why is all this important when we're talking about bloating? Here's why. The other big cause of bloating is, again, this blood sugar cortisol imbalance that I talked about in this video right here. Blood sugar and cortisol are intricately related. When we are stressed, when we are staying up late, when we're not sleeping through the night, that cortisol level goes way up, our blood sugar levels go way up, and in turn, we start to bloat, we start to have fluid shifts, and all of that first presents as bloating, later presents as belly fat. So it's really important, when we're thinking about how do we manage blood sugar stability in the context of hormone shifts, because as the hormones shift, that blood sugar wonkiness just gets worse. And definitely, as the hormones get depleted, we're seeing a lot going on with blood sugar. So one of the ways of maintaining stable blood sugar and insulin levels in the face of altered hormones is to weight train, because muscle helps stabilize blood sugar, helps to stabilize insulin, and is just an edge when it comes to beating hormone belly and bloating. So add in weights, even if it's twice a week, a heavier set of weights to help you grow the muscle. The rest of the time we need to be moving and active, and definitely do the workouts you love, because at the end of the day, we want to do things we look forward to and enjoy, not things we dread. Now, if we're going to talk about bloating and stress and cortisol, we have to talk about sleep, right? Because if we are not falling asleep and if we are not staying asleep, we wake up with higher than average levels of blood sugar, and the day sort of begins with this issue with higher insulin, higher blood sugar, leading to fluid shifts, leading to bloating. And that's the whole thing that we're trying to bring in and trying to shut down. I love using magnesium to help fall asleep and stay asleep. I also love herbs, adaptogenic herbs that actually help us to lower cortisol and in turn help us with these fluid issues and electrolyte issues, and also with hydration and blood sugar. So my sleep saver, for example, has magnesium to help you fall asleep and stay asleep, melatonin to help you fall asleep, but then it also has magnolia bark, which is one herb in the family of adrenal adaptogens that prevent that 2 to 4 a.m. spike that makes us wake back up, and then we start the day not feeling really great. So trying something for sleep, especially to help you sleep all the way through the night, where you're getting at least 90 minutes of REM sleep and 90 minutes of deep sleep, is an important strategy if we're going to talk about hormone belly and bloating. All right, in addition to that, there are other ways to really help us with hormone belly and with bloating. Now, there are a lot of natural remedies I love using. One is simply adding in dandelion greens, adding in parsley or cilantro, blending that up, storing it in your fridge, and maybe taking a little bit every single day. Alternatively, you could do celery juice, and you could actually mix all of that together. So you could literally take celery, dandelion greens, add in a little bit of parsley and cilantro, blend all that up together, and literally take a shot, maybe just a couple of ounces every day to help you, again, move fluid through the body. So that's another strategy in addition to sleep and exercise and some of these other things that we've talked about. In addition to these herbal or more natural remedies, again, your food, right? Food makes an incredible difference when it comes to healthy hormone balance and to something like bloating, getting in the fiber you need, getting in the greens. All of those are critical when it comes to bloating. I talk a lot about foods for natural hormone balance in this video right here. Check it out to begin your hormone balancing plan with food. All right, putting all of this together should not be overwhelming, right? I really haven't talked about anything terribly complicated. We've talked about hydration. We've talked about electrolyte balance and how to maintain that balance because it is changing as the hormones change. We've talked about the importance of movement to help your lymphatics that at the end of the day are regulating some of what's happening with your overall fluid status. And then adding in weights and weight training to grow the muscle, to stabilize blood sugar, really important as well. Sleep as an essential part of a good hormone strategy, but definitely a part of a hormone belly and bloating strategy. And then eating healthy, getting those greens, getting fiber in, really important as well. And then having a natural remedy or two to help you with any of this, whether it's the celery juice combo that we talked about or using something like Sleep Saver to help you sleep through the night. All right, I have a lot of suggestions about hormone belly and bloating in my latest book, The Hormone Shift. And if you've bought The Hormone Shift, head over to my website. It's drtaz.com/the-hormone-shift and put your receipt code in there. If you do so, you'll get a free copy of my hormone remedy guide where I have a lot of these formulas and suggestions in there to help you with your particular hormone pattern and getting it balanced so that a lot of these symptoms simply go away. All right, I post new videos every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.